His and hers and Mad Dog, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you. Can you guys hear me all right? Let me check my microphone. Yeah, that's not going to work. I need to put my Yeti on there. You guys should be able to hear me better now. Let me know. Got a bunch of mailings to do. So I figured, we'd chat. Ash is what's going on, bud. Kylie, what's going on, dude? I'm just getting ready to. Matter of fact, here's your pack right here. I'm just getting ready to wrap it up. I had a long day yesterday. I had a big day yesterday, so I didn't get my mailings out. Then this morning I was recovering, so I'll get them out now. I'll get them to the mailbox by 5 o'clock so that they're moving today. You might get them by Friday. 49's what's going on, bud? Thanks for coming up. Anybody wants to come up on this StreamYards, feel free. I'm going to post a link down here right now. Paste, chat. And I'm also going to post it on YouTube. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. So there you go. Apparently it does pop up on YouTube too. So what's new? Anybody got any big plans for the weekend? I'm still suffering through my first cup of coffee. But my coffees are always monsters from the get-go. Far North, thank you for the buffaloes. You're very welcome. They have not hit yet, Far North. They're going out today, and they're right here. And then I have a 50-pound box of pennies going to Joel. So between those two packages, it's 70 pounds. Brisky Ben, what's going on, bud? There's a link there. Oh, there you are, Ashes. Sorry.
What's up?
Oh, what are you doing?
Nothing, just sitting here, not doing anything.
Me too. I got to do these mailings, so.
Right back.
49s. No, I have to change iPads and everyone's still sleeping, so maybe next time. Oh, wait. What did I miss? I want to try with StreamYards. Oh, gotcha.
I'm back. The dealer services was calling me about my extended warranty.
Oh, yeah, I get that all the time, too. I have that service that blocks the spam calls. So that was just one of them. Didn't have a chance to get in. I don't really have anything on my mind. I have a big mailing this week. But I'm just going to start whittling through these packs. Nobody, hey, Matt83, are you back there? Let me know.
Hey, your video, there you go. So your video was frozen on my end. Still hear you though.
My video is?
Yep.
Well, that's not good.
And I only see like half of the screen on StreamYard and YouTube. The bottom half.
I don't even have anything running. Let me refresh.
Or he just leaves. maybe he'll be back in a second. So there he's back.
I had to refresh. Hey, Siren, what's going on, hon? Thanks
Hi,
for being
Siren.
here. I hope you're feeling better.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Matt, what's going on, my dude? Big Flip. I found an easy way to make shot yesterday. I posted a video on it. You should check it out. I will go over there and check it out for sure. Are you going to do another 8 reals for a 10-roll tier again? If my coin shop has reals, I'll pick them up. I don't make much. Matter of fact, it's a break-even scenario for the channel when I do those 8 reals. But I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it at all. I'll do anything for you guys. The mailings basically, it covers the postage, but it doesn't cover my time. It doesn't cover the packaging. It does not that it's a lot of packaging, but it's almost a break-even situation on the 8 reals. But I'll do it again. If they have more, I will keep doing it until people don't buy it. And then that'll give everybody a little chunk of shipwreck love. So, yeah, I'll keep doing it. As long as you guys want me to do it, I'll do it. Brisky Ben, what's going on, bud? Thanks for the carrying around the wrench. Ashes, thank you for carrying around the wrench. Siren, thanks for carrying around the wrench. Appreciate it. Far North Coins, thank you for being a member. I appreciate you. Far North wanted to, the other night, I should say a month ago, did a TikTok stream where he was doing some nickodating on some buffaloes. And it was incredible the amount of people he had in there on TikTok watching him nickadate buffaloes. And I was sitting in the back. I'm always lurking with him. And I said I would keep an eye out for some buffaloes for him. And though some of these have been nickadated, there's almost 700 buffaloes in here that need nickadating. So Far North wanted them. Far North paid for them, and I'm going to mail them to the Far North. Listening and putting some stuff in the truck. Nice, Brisky.
So
I just want to buy a shipwreck coin, Big Flip. Siren, I got one around here for you. I'll send you one. I'll send you one today.
So yesterday, my wife's boss called me. She's worked for this man 25 years. And he said, Tim, that's my name. Everybody knows. Angel, that's my wife. He calls her Angela. That's her name. I call her Angel. Anyway, he says, I understand you know something about coins. I said, well, I know a little bit. He said, well, I have 180 pounds of silver dollars and silver half dollars that I need to know about. So in the near future, I'll be doing some streams. I want to do some streams hunting his coins, going through and separating them and, putting them where they need to go, and then looking for varieties and errors and VAMs and all sorts of stuff for him. So he just doesn't sell them for melt. I mean, he could sell it for melt. The melt value is like 65 grand, but him and his brother have been collecting for 40 plus years. So that's going to be exciting. It'll be fun.
That will be a blast for you. Matter of fact, my neighbor wants me to do that for him for his grandfather's collection. His grandfather's still alive, but Larry doesn't know what coins are worth today, and he's getting up there. So I do want to hunt through that collection for them and let them see exactly what they got. That'll be fun for you, though, Ashes. That's a lot of coinage.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. He said some of them are loose, some of them are rolled, and some of them are in tubes. I was like, well, we'll just take our time and go through all of it and get it all sorted out and let you know exactly what you got.
That'll be fun.
Regular weight pounds, 180 pounds, like a young man, Brisky Ben. That's how much.
Mad Dog says, when those scammers call me, I harass them so much that they hang up on me. Mad Dog, I had the IRS scammer guy call me. And it was one day when I was bored. I was sitting at home. He called me, and so then he left a message, and then so I called him back. And I called him back, and kept going down this road, and I was just wearing the guy out with every lie under the sun about how I didn't pay my taxes and I was going to pay it. And where do I send the money? And he was sending me to Walmart to get gift cards. And I'd tell him, okay, I'm going to go get them. I'll be right back. And he did the old, don't hang up the phone. I'll go with you. And this went on. It went on for an hour and a half. And then he started hanging up on me. So I'd call back. And I was calling back into the same call center. And I was looking for the same guy. And this went on literally, I called him 110 times. I look back on my phone. I called him 110 times in about 3 hours' time. And it got to the point to where they blocked me. And so now when that call center calls in and I call him back, I'm blocked.
Matt's in the basement.
Hey, Matt was, oh, no, I don't see him.
He said, hey, I'm in the background. Well, maybe he's just in the background, just listening. So,
you want to come up, Matt?
I watched a TikTok video yesterday. Some girl, she had one cell phone over here and another cell phone over here. And she had to return a call, or somehow she ended up getting the call center, two different people on the call center on the same phone call, but she had them talking to each other like this. And it got to the point that, well, you called me. He said, no, you called me. And then they start calling each other by their real name. And of course, they were not from the U.S. And it just went on and went on and went on. Shut up, Scratch and Grow Crazy. What do you mean, old guy? Just because my hair's white, don't mean I'm old, man. Come on. But it went on and on and on. And then he said, I'm going to kick your ass. It's like, well, I didn't call you. He said, well, you had to call me. I'm going to tell the boss. I didn't do this. It's so funny. Hey, Matt.
What's
Howdy,
going on?
partner. Not much. I was in the background just pouring on myself for a little while.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's good. I'm just messing with you. I'm about to come off the bank. I just had to pick up some groceries. They forgot this morning. Stopped at the fleet. Let a fleet boat bring some food out. And now I'm getting back underway, northbound. Above New Orleans.
You're heading towards New Orleans?
No. I'm heading. We passed up New Orleans earlier. I'm heading all the way up to the upper Mississippi River. Actually, they're going to be heading back to Alabama, from what I went to Decatur, Alabama, from what I'm understanding. Where you got to go up the Mississippi and cross to Tennessee and do a whole bunch of other nonsense, which I probably won't be here when they do all that.
How long's this trip?
I think it's 9 days to the dock from here. But I'm on a different boat. I'm not on my normal boat. I'm riding extra right now. I had to stay off for an extra week when I was home for Christmas. Bailey had a surgery, so I'm just making a little time back.
Is that a better boat?
Oh yeah, this thing's a Cadillac. It's a big boat.
Well, so can't you just stay on it?
Well, they don't work the same schedule that I work. There's I think they work 14 and 7 on here, or 20 and 10. I work 14 and 14, so that's why I'm on the boat that I'm on.
14 on, 14 off.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
I gotta try to miss these people before I run them over in front of us. I have myself in a little hole right here. Waiting for my groceries.
Let me bring you up solo here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Mad Dog. Yeah, we've messed with those car warranty folks before. We told them we had a 1924 American or France that we drove, and we got to click as well.
How do I bring him up again?
So if you go back to the normal screen, just where we're all even, yeah. So you should go down on top of him, and should be able to click on his little box there, and I forget what the verbiage is, but it'll let you bring him up in the center.
Oh, I see. Maybe it's up here.
There he is.
There we go. You guys don't need to see me.
Big time, huh?
Hello, new creation number 1. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Rick Howell, how's it going? Big Flip, did you get Rick Howell's email?
Did you just send one, Rick? Because I sent you one 10 minutes ago. I sent you one 10 minutes ago. Rick Howell, what's happened was we had to close out last year, so all invoices that weren't paid up until that point, I had to delete them. I still have your stuff set aside if you want it, but you're going to have to send me an email that says, yes, re-invoice me, and then I'll re-invoice you. But I had to close out everything for last year, and that's what the email said a couple days ago. So I hope you understand. So if you still want your stuff, all your stuff's still here in an envelope, but there's just no invoices produced. Let me know what you want to do.
I am about 220, 230 miles from Baton Rouge. That'll be the next big city I go to.
So Matt, early spring, we're coming that way.
Roger. I don't know why it's so low right now. Hold on, let me try to adjust this. For some reason it's really low. Anyway. Hopefully it'll get louder. I don't know. Something's not working quite right. My headphones are low.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's not. I mean, I only got one in so I could hear the radio. And y'all could hear me decent on my little mic on here. But anyway,
Yeah,
I can hear good
you
enough.
fine. Thank you, Siren, for taking care of that.
Hello there, Siren. How we doing, sweetheart? I can't see the chat, so.
I'll keep you informed. We're gonna have to get you a pad, Matt, so you can run your phone and watch the chat.
Yeah, I have an iPad on the side of me, but it's so big. I got the biggest iPad they make, the big screen one, that way I could, watch football and stuff on it. And I guess I should have probably came up on that instead of this. I don't know. I know the camera is a lot better on this phone than on the iPad. My iPad's older.
Hey, Gear, what's going on, bud? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Gear, I'm just doing my mailings, and then Matt's taking us for a trip on the Mississippi, and we're just doing a little chit-chat. Siren says it's my day off. It's all good.
Excuse me for 1 second. 9,000 northbound coming up on 820 south. 9,000.
So where are you pulling in to pick up your groceries?
Oh, it was at this fleet right here. I just stopped at a fleet boat, bring them across to me.
Oh, you already got them.
Yeah. I got on this boat earlier today. We went to the store and apparently they had forgot onions and stuff.
Is that a better boat? You get better food on that one?
Uh-oh. Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh, never good.
Hello. Flag guys, they'll jump in hard. Hold on 1 second. Flag guys, come on. Yeah, but I was thinking of behind you there. How far are you going today? I'm going all the way up. All the way up for days and days and days. But let's see what kind of speed you making, pal? Just making right at 8 right now. Yeah, Roger. You can come by whenever you want, bud. Come out on 2. I'll stay here. All right, come on. All right, sorry about that, Andrew. Come on, bud.
49s, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Hey, Mia. Thanks for coming in. Jericho and Hercules.
I'm not sure, bud.
It's not like an arm working on a barge and
broke. I'm not sure.
I was
I don't
fishing
normally
with
work
cable
on here.
snap and ripped the sucker right off.
All right,
Into the water I went. It went. Oh man, that's a bad day at the office.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back. I had a call from my office.
Emil, yeah, we're just going to cruise along with Matt. I'm always very, very fortunate when Matt lets me enjoy what he does for a living. It's pretty neat in my book. So, how long is this shift?
I'll be on until 1800, so another 2 hours or so. I'll be on watch, and then I'll be back up at midnight.
So, you go directly downstairs and nap?
Yep.
And now you'll be pushing up river 9 days.
Yeah, Roger.
See, it's hard for me to comprehend.
Well, we don't make the greatest of speed right now. This boat push is pretty decent. This one's I'm doing 6.5 right now. So just to get to the upper Mississippi River, that's at like the 930 mile marker. I'm only at the 120 right now. So yeah, I got another 800 miles to go that route.
Crazy.
But this boat's gonna go to I think the Tom Bigby. They're going to Alabama, so they're gonna go up. You can either go this way, cut across the Mississippi Sounds, and head through Mobile and go north, or you can go up this way, cut across, and come back down.
Siren wants to know if you're eating burritos on this boat.
I didn't see any burritos yet. I just got on here today, so I don't know if we got burritos or not.
Gear
I
wants
will
to
probably
know-
eat fajitas eventually, though. They got wraps. It's the easiest thing to make in a hurry.
Gear wants to know if you've ever seen Tim Batsea Canal.
What was that again?
Have you ever seen? Gear wants to know if you've seen Tim Batsea Canal. Tim Batsea?
No.
He
Nope.
never has. Henry wants to know how long your little scooter is there.
This boat's probably over 100 foot. Barges of 600, so about 725, I would guess. 715, something like that. 715 feet long, 54 foot wide, about 9.5, 10 foot deep.
Bo Palmer, what's going on, bud? We're just chit-chatting, and I'm doing some mailings, and Ashes is kind of back there following along, and we've been graced with Matt 83 and what he does for a living, and I always enjoy these streams. Tim Batsea is a tugboat canal, Gear says.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
What are you pushing up in water there, Matt? Pushing fuel?
Oh, that's a great question. I just got on there. What we loaded with? Acrylonitro. Acrylonitro, something like that. It's
Okay. Something
yeah.
for-
Some kind of chemical. Some crazy stuff.
Siren wants to make a bet, and she's asking me, Matt, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh man, Super Bowl. That's a rough one, man. I don't know. This is a crazy year. I liked the Cardinals earlier in the year. They was doing really well. And then they kind of fell apart. The Packers don't look bad. And then Tennessee looks pretty good also. So I don't know. It's going to be a crazy year. I don't think it's going to be Tampa Bay's hurting right now, so I don't really think it's going to be them. But I'm guessing Green Bay, or I would think maybe Green Bay or Tennessee. I don't know. Maybe even Buffalo also. They got a lot of teams doing really well this year. Nobody really standing out. First half of the year, I thought the Cardinals were going to be the team to beat, but they kind of fizzled out a little.
Henry says the Raiders, of course. Henry?
Yeah, the Raiders cost me this week in fantasy, so kind of hurt still from the Raiders. Derek Carr always seems to ruin my day.
I'm pretty sure you're ahead for the year, though, on that stuff, though, aren't you?
Yeah, Roger, I'm ahead. I'm ahead for the year. But man, if I'd have had two more, I messed up with 2 picks this week. And I'd have had me another 25 G's. I had about 25. It was close, but I picked the wrong quarterback and wrong wide receiver. 2 of my 8 guys. The other guys I did great with, but 2 guys I messed up on. If I just went with the best receiver and the quarterback for the opposite team. But anyway, I lose a lot also.
Mikey says he's having meatloaf fries for dinner tonight. Meatloaf, homemade meatloaf and fries.
That don't sound like a bad meal. I eat some kind of shrimp and noodles and Alfredo sauce with some Tony's and hot sauce in it. That was the meal that was cooked on the boat.
All right, I'm back.
Come on, where's that noise coming from? Shut it. These radios, man, they get loud. I don't know how loud they are on y'all side, but they are pretty loud on this side.
Mad Dog doesn't think the Bungles will win.
But I got a soft spot for the Bengals because, they got my LSU Tigers over yonder, Oh, Joe Burrow.
What's that boat there? A push tug?
Yeah, there's a push boat. All the ones I work on, we push these. There's a 4-cabin one, so we kind of high up. But you kind of see down there where the push knees are touching.
Mm-hmm.
This one's fun. This is kind of a fancy boat. I'll go in the back corner. See? That's where I was just at.
Huh.
So,
Air conditioned in there?
oh yeah, definitely. Got my air conditioning little utensil. See? There we go, right next to my legs. Got my radio right yonder, and speakers in the roof.
How about we see your pretty face?
Oh, I'm old and ugly and great. Oh wow, the wind's blowing a little out here, ain't it? See, push these, connected by these wires here. Got jockeys to hold the boat down. That way when I turn, the boat don't go all sideways a little.
Hey, what's going on, JP? JP, we're just going for a ride up to Mississippi for the next 9 days. This is going to be a marathon stream.
Oh, whoa. I don't know how to work this thing too well, See?
There you are.
There we go.
What's
Up
going
here
on,
looks
my
kind of
brother?
terrible. It's all backwards. It's throwing me off a little bit. Anywho, that's me. Nothing special. Oh.
Hey, Brad, what's going on, bud? Hey, Ash, just keep an eye out. I have to run upstairs real quick.
Okay, I got you.
So how we doing, Ashes? How's life?
Man, it's going well. Just hanging out, just working winter storms and floods and mudslides, all that normal stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like fun, huh?
Brad, you
My kids have
welcome to the stream.
barely even seen snow before in their life. They want to go to see some snow.
Yeah.
It snowed since I've been alive. It snowed twice at my house where snow actually stayed on the ground to where you could build a snowman. That was about it. That was about 2 to 3 inches. You got to get half the front yard to make a snowman.
Yeah, last week we got, I guess here we got about 4 or 5 inches, I guess. And then
Roger.
up northern Virginia, they got like 10 or 12 inches and shut down Interstate 95, had all kind of issues. So,
That's crazy, huh? I don't sound
yeah.
fun. Hey, this guy
Happy
wants to
early
pass
birthday,
me up.
Brad Nino. You got a birthday coming up. Check back up. Henry, hello Henry, how you doing? Nice to
Right,
see you.
Dodger, come
JP
on.
Lawns and more. Hello.
Roger, Roger. Lad, GOP Harvey, I gotta pull it back. Let's get around there, bud. Get this done right quick.
Alright, buddy, I'm hammering on her for everything she's got there, trying to go ahead and get on around.
Roger, Roger. Ain't no rush. Take your time. Yeah, I gotta pay attention, especially in the river. They got southbound ships. You get in the wrong spot, or these line tows, like this guy coming right now. He looks like he has quite a few up there. Can't really tell, but they'll push up to 42 barges, 48 barges. So
Wow.
he looks like he only has a string of four
Is
wide.
that the white speck on the center of the screen on the left? Is that him?
Yeah.
Around the turn.
Yep, yeah, he's coming right there. Well, he's coming right down the middle. Right down almost straight off my bow of my barge is a guy coming down 4 wide. But he has smaller barges. These barges that I push are they're 300 by 54 wide. And most of the ones of the line tows like that, their barges are only 35 wide and 200 long. And those but I mean, they're stacked so many of them together. They're definitely going to be a lot bigger than we are. I'm actually going to be surprised if they don't ask us to grab another barge. A lot of times when they making trips up like this, they'll find a barge in some fleet on the way up that they can, bring a couple hundred miles up and get paid just for moving it up a little.
Hey, go up to 68, man.
But this is a crazy product that we don't like. There's a couple boats here that make this run with this product. It's a little different than normal. I was on a different boat yesterday, and that boat was doing crude oil, just regular crude oil. The boat I normally ride on, we do a lot of hot oil to where you have to heat the product, where it's like we do asphalt. So our product's like 300 degrees all the time, 350 degrees, and different kind of additives like that, slurry oil. A lot of the stuff that's just what's left after they do most of the refining process. I mean, they use just about everything they can use off crude oil. So once it gets thicker and thicker as they get all the better and more expensive stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll switch with some different loads, not just asphalt, and clean the barges out a little bit, because the asphalt, it'll start getting heavy at the bottom.
Yeah.
Start stacking up. You might have 6 inches of sludge, 8 inches of sludge in the bottom of your barge that just you can't strip out.
Wow. Yeah, Siren, there's no bot because he's on StreamYard, so he doesn't have his bot on.
All these barges really have in them is there's 6 tanks. There's 3 sets of tanks, and they all lean towards the box end of the barge, the stern of the barge, which is where the coupling is now in the middle. The barge I'm faced up on is actually backwards. That way you could build a unit tow. And then the bow comes up first, and what happens is all the product just kind of slides to the back, and each set of tanks has the valves all the way in the back, except for the very last tank, the 2 sets of 3s. The barge actually comes up and it'll be higher on the stern than the front. That way you can strip out those tanks also and get everything out of it as much as possible.
Yeah, gotcha.
So your company doesn't own this barge; you're just contracted to move it.
No, my company does own these barges. Yeah, this company, every company I've worked for so far, they have their own barges also, 'cause they make a lot more money being able to rent out the boat and the barges as a set. So you're pretty much doing a contract. These contracts are mostly they pay out differently. This boat's on a regular contract to where it's going to get a certain amount a day, no matter what. Whether it's in a fleet moving product or no matter what, it's going to get paid. Some boats that especially when stuff starts getting tight, they lose contracts. These guys will they'll do a product more of how many barrels you move, and so every barrel that you move through the boards, you'll get a certain amount for. So they'll want to load them down as much as possible, and that's kind of the spot market, how the spot market works. And those guys, if they got loads or they're loading, they're getting paid, or they're sitting, waiting to load, they're getting paid. But if they're sitting around with empties, that boat's making $0. It's losing money every day from the crew and generators running.
So from back when you were not having much to do during the beginning of the big demic, to now, are you guys super busy or just all right busy?
Oh yeah, we're too busy actually right now. I'm on this boat, and they don't even have enough guys to run all the boats that they need. The problem we have right now is having people that want to work, that's willing to work. Everybody took off during the pandemic. Well, most guys, we never stopped, but people did find out that they didn't have to work and they was going to get a check. So we have boats that are tied up at the office that they have jobs for. They could get jobs for, but they just don't have the men to do it right now.
So you're covering all of this river. Is there a right of way? Is there a right lane, left lane?
Right now I'm on a 2-whistle side. So when you meet a boat, that guy's that I'm meeting off to the starboard side right now, if I meet somebody starboard to starboard, his starboard side and my starboard side, that's a 2-whistle side. So they'll tell me it's not really necessarily he's going to go that way because that's where the current line's at. I'm coming up underneath the point right here because this is where the slack water's at. So northbound, you usually try to stay in the slack water. Southbound, you stay in the current. Now, northbound, it's a lot easier to hold up. So if somebody's southbound and they need you to hold up, you have to wait until they come around a certain bend. Some of these bends are kind of tight. Some of these boats come around with 40, 50 barges. So southbound traffic has the right of way. Pretty much, and they just pretty much tell you where you want to be at. In a river like this, the 99% of the time, you're going to be underneath the points northbound. So depending on which side the bend goes to, like right before you went down, when I was coming away from the fleet, I was coming up on a bend, but I was underneath the bend on that side, on the opposite side of the river. I was on the east side of the river. Now I'm on the west side of the river because this bend's going to be coming up to the left.
So am I to understand the slack water is that little bitty ripply choppy stuff?
Just pretty much going to be underneath the points because your current's going to be following the bend. The current goes more into the bend, and a lot of these points underneath the point, they're going to have eddies where the water kind of loops around and kind of goes back north a little bit underneath the point. So right now, I'm making 6.5. Underneath the points, I'll probably get to 7-8 miles an hour when I'm right underneath the points. And if I would be running on the outside out there, I'd probably only be making about 5. So 3 mile an hour makes a big difference on a long trip.
Yeah.
Most of the places you see these fleets at are going to be in slack water. They put most of the fleets where they don't have a lot of current. That's why these barges are all parked on the bank. Any kind of ship anchorages that we come up on is going to be pretty much in the slack water. They have certain spots where they tell ships they can hang out at, where they drop anchor at and wait for their turn to go and dock. So that's normally always going to be the slack water side also. That way, when the river comes up and the current's ripping, you don't have a bunch of barges stacked up. Because this river this thing runs. This thing gets strong. I mean, it'll get to the point to where in the current, we might only make a mile an hour, 1.2, 1.5 miles an hour northbound.
What are they unloading from that barge to the left of you with that tractor?
It might be limestone or sand. Trying to see what it is. Hold on a second. All right, don't. I can't see inside of it, but it looks like it's sand. Definitely looks like sand. They got a bunch of sand on the bank there. I don't know. God, the sun's bright for sure. Goodness gracious.
And then is that
It might be coal.
Is that petrol processing over there on the right?
Yes, that's all. It's a lot of. Got a couple coal docks, a couple coal docks over there, and they have a couple oil docks. Right here on that side, it's where are we at? St. Charles. Yep. Valero St. Charles is going to be coming up across from us. Valero's one of the main companies we get contracts with. Valero, Exxon, Chevron, some of the bigger docks, just like any major gas station around Marathon. They have these docks out here that's where we pump off to. That barge right there to the left side of me, with the big white tanks on the top, that's a propane barge. So that's gonna have propane, butane, anything underneath pressure. It's a pressure barge. Actually, used to push barges. I might have pushed that barge before, honestly. I worked for that company for a little while, Enterprise.
Well, I was calling to see if you heard about Sugar Grove and their tanker. Okay, I just want to make sure you knew.
Ashes, you're live.
They said we had to extricate him, they said. Well, we saw it on Mountain Empire thing, and then Gerald said somebody called and told him.
I'll take care of it.
Roger.
Pretty neat. So you'll just keep tucking on the inside of these corners all the way up.
Roger, Roger. Northbound, I'll try to stay as. If there's water there, like sometimes we'll get to spots where there's sandbars. The further you go up, they're going to start having more and more dikes to where you really can't get underneath the points, right on the points. And right in the bends, certain spots where there's dikes that slow the water from coming down. But all this lower part, all the way up through past Baton Rouge, they don't really have many dikes and stuff. So most spots you could run all the way up 30, 40 feet off the bank. And if you get 30, 40 feet off the bank, that's when you make your best speed.
Huh.
Right now, I have 35 feet of water right here.
So back when I was younger and we would fish like up in the deltas south of Sacramento, and the big tankers would come by, they would, displace so much water that it would drop our boat in the mud and then push it way up on the bank. Do you still do that in a river this size?
No, not in a river this size. The ships, they'll throw some pretty big wake when they pass. But in a canal, we do that with this. Yeah, we suck water. Sometimes you'll start seeing 25 feet of land, and then have a big tidal wave coming behind it, So we got to kind of watch what we're doing, because if we sink any of these little boats, we're 100% responsible for anything that happens with our wake.
Oh, so it's not like a fun game to put a boat up on the beach.
Oh no, that's illegal. You're responsible for your wake. So anything that my wake causes, whether I'm in a regular outboard at home, if I'm in my boat and I'm cruising along and a big wave crashes somebody, or on this, that would be us.
Wow. See, that kind of stuff I never even thought about.
Yep. Well, being down here and growing up on boats so much, that was something I learned from a young age, going fishing with my dad, something like that simple. Or if we were going fishing in the morning and we might just start out and find a boat that's broken down, you're not allowed to just pass up a broken down boat. If you pass up a boat that's broken down and they get your numbers, you're going to be in a bind. You got to help.
Huh. Hey, Coin Silver, what's going on, bud? Anna Mine Crazy, thanks for being in here. Appreciate you guys.
Let me. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if it's gonna kick me off, but I gotta check something right quick on my phone.
And just like that, he gone.
I don't know if I'm back on.
Yeah, you're back.
Am I back on or not?
Well, you're back on the side. Big Flip's gone. Silver Keys is here, but now you gone. Now it's just me and Silver Keys. There's Big Flip back. He came on. I think he may have disconnected.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the link again. Keys, are you there?
I'm here, but I'm feeding the baby. We
Oh.
have baby Jay today. Do you want? She's fussy because she's teething. It's been a rough day for her. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Do you want to say hey? Do you? What do you think? Do you say hi?
Hi. Hi. What's she doing?
Say hi to Ashes.
Let me bring you up. Hold on.
Say hi to Ashes.
Hey, Priscilla, how you doing?
What? What? Here.
There's she.
You want a bite?
Oh, we're eating. All right.
are
Good
eating.
stuff.
Oh yeah,
Mmm.
it's delicious.
Steak
Yeah,
and potatoes. Sports and entertainment TV. Hello, Gear. Hello.
well, that is adorable.
Hello, Candy Hall.
Oh. She's
Matt
a little
83
fussy.
loves his babies.
Yeah.
Yes, I do
Matt
love
does
babies.
love his babies. It's been a rough day, huh? Those darn teeth. Oh, squirrel. Mom's going to be late picking her up because she's off on an ambulance run, so. Huh. Oh, what's he doing over there? What do you got, Ashes? I couldn't see it.
Hold on, I got to turn my thing on in the background, my virtual background on, because it won't let it focus. Turn it back on. There's a little. That's a fire truck. That's the neighboring department, about 3 departments away from me. They responded to a house fire and got crowded off the road.
Oh,
That's
no.
what's
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, just bumps and bruises, scrapes, and that was a brand new fire truck, a couple months old. So they walked away. That's all that matters. Who cares about the truck? We replace trucks all the time, so that's no big deal. But I'm glad they're okay.
Well, I'll take it back and care. As long as everybody's okay.
Oh yeah, that's the way we feel all the time. We don't, we can replace all that sheet metal and all that stuff. So Victoria Roman Carter, hello, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Kenneth G, hello. I did not wreck my fire truck, Kenneth G. That was not my department. We did not wreck one. Knock on wood, we haven't wrecked one this week. So
Up here above where I'm coming up at in a minute, where these ships are tied off at, that's a spillway. This is where they let all the water out when the river comes up, to where they don't flood New Orleans. They actually open this up, and if you ever, I don't know, y'all probably don't see it where y'all at, but anytime they do it around here, they put it on the news. They'll bring a newscast out there, and they'll show them opening the gates of the big dam, where start flooding out this big fields to where they can give some relief to the river.
How far north are you from New Orleans now?
I am above New Orleans by about 30 miles.
Okay.
So you left there about 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I got on just below New Orleans. And when I got up, we was when I got up here, we was about 10 miles above New Orleans. We'd already come through all the river walk and everything in New Orleans area.
So
We was coming up on Huey P. Long Bridge.
So when you made your stop for groceries, what did you pick up good to eat?
I think I don't know what they had left to grid. Well, they didn't get nothing special. Onions, a bunch of dry stuff. We had got all the frozen stuff earlier, so all they told me was his onions and stuff that they had forgot to add. We went in the crew truck this morning to a grocery store by our house. That's where he, oh man, hold on 1 second. Getting a phone call, give me 1 second.
Big Flip.
Yes, sir.
I'm at 702.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hours.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, it's
We're
crazy.
getting there.
Yeah. 1,000, and I'm holding 1,000 plus now. So 1,062 subscribers.
1,062.
1,062. Yeah.
Man, that's good.
We're looking
Yeah,
at
it's
maybe
nuts.
about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning right now. On the 12th, yeah, tomorrow, about 8, 9 in the morning. Maybe a little later.
Kids, yeah, I've been on Lake Pontchartrain. That's a good little lake to be on. Actually caught shrimp in Lake Pontchartrain when I was a teenager.
Okay, I'm back. That was a mechanic. We got a flywheel busted on one of our engines, so we got to stop in Baton Rouge to get that fixed tomorrow. They're trying to get ETA.
That's
you
not good.
got two or four engines.
Two. Two on here. And I'm, to tell you the truth, I don't even know what time. I'm sure they have Cummins on here. So most of those have Cummins. Probably some 16-cylinder Cummins. Trying to see a little. Normally on every boat there's a placard in the wheelhouse that tells you all the. There we go. I'm not even exactly sure what the horsepower on this boat is. 2,600 horsepower on this one.
Is that a lot?
I normally work on a boat that's 2,000, so it's decent. It's better than being on a 2,000.
You're
Well,
running a hot rod.
yeah, it's very nice inside, but there's just certain things you give and take when you have a bigger, longer boat. Now, this boat, anytime you do any kind of fleet work and stuff, it's going to be a lot more. It's a lot more to maneuver around the bigger boats than it is the smaller boats that you can flip on a dime. Especially in the river with the current. Like we got downstream, which is coming up from on top the barges and landing. A lot of times, again, different fleets, you might have to go, or different docks. You might have to downstream instead of just pushing up northbound onto the dock. You have to flip around and kind of let the current set you down into the dock. And when you do that light boat with empties, these barges have rakes on them. So if you get set off a little bit to the side, people die pretty often that way. Like when it's extreme high river, most companies ban, they don't allow you to, they won't even allow you to do it to downstream. Because if you get set sideways just a little bit and that current catches you, it'll suck you underneath the rake, and then that's the whole boat sinks. It's not a good look. If all the watertight doors are closed, you'll pop back up. Hopefully, unless you get stuck underneath. But it doesn't take much getting the boat a little sideways and then landing on the end of a barge for it to, that current to catch the side of you. Your boat kind of flip you underneath. And right now where I'm at, they have 70 feet of water, so we definitely wouldn't touch anything on bottom for sure.
Hey, Kenneth, what's going on, bud? Thanks for coming in. Oh, hold on. Kenneth says, have you ever gone to Lake Charles?
Yeah. I work in Lake Charles all the time. Calcasieu River.
Where is Lake Charles at?
Lake Charles is going to be west of Lafayette, between Lafayette and the Texas border on I-10. Almost smack dab in the middle. About an hour west of Lake Lafayette will get you to Lake Charles. Another hour from there west will get you to Port Arthur and the beginning of Texas, Beaumont area. That's I actually work more nowadays. I work more often Houston, but I worked in Lake Charles for 10 years. That was where we discharged that from Pascagoula, Mississippi to a dock in Lake Charles.
Yeah, Kenneth G says, Man 83, this would be a great channel to roll out. He says sometimes he watched train conductors, so having a channel where we could watch you float the boat, that would be pretty nice.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not supposed to be on my phone. So, you know, they allow you to listen to radios and stuff. You're not really supposed to. If something were to happen, I'd probably be in a bind.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Black Gosling, come on. Roger the one. What do you think I'm going to do? Yeah. Yeah, it's not really something they, this company doesn't really mind you putting videos out as long as you really can't see much of the company name and stuff. Which I'm not, I don't have my phone, I'm not touching my phone, it's like so terrible. They allow you to listen to the radio as long as you don't really mess with, you know, you talking on the VHF radio, as long as you can hear everything. So it's just kind of a weird area. Some companies don't allow you to do it at all. Like a lot of videos that I had put on my channel, I didn't put none of those videos out until after I wasn't working for the company anymore.
Jeepin' John. Hey, Jeepin'. Jeeps, how you doing, buddy?
There's actually, I think I have a video on my channel. I might not have put it on there. I had a video, I'm not sure, going up the Calcasieu River. There's a dock we used to go all the way up the Calcasieu River in Lake Charles, past the saltwater barrier, which is just like a dam they have to stop the salt water from getting into the fresh water if it's running north. But I don't know if I put it on the channel or not. I think I did.
Are those ships on your right there? Are they moving?
No, they're anchorage. That's an anchorage. That's this right here. This is going to be the spillway where they allow all the water to come off.
The spillway on
And
your
when the
left
river
or your
comes
right?
up, I'll show you when we get by it.
Oh, okay.
And then like once they open that, them ships won't be there, and we don't come on this side of the river when we head north because it'll suck you straight into
It'll
that.
push you right in there with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles Atkins, hello. How you doing?
Hey, Charles. Jeep, what's going on, bud? Hey, Jeep, do exclamation point find me. The bot's going to throw your channel link. I know you've been a little behind, so I know there might be some people in here who don't have you. Please do that.
How we doing there, Jeep and John? Long time no see, pal.
Jeep, we're just going for a ride up Mississippi. Sitting at work, bummer. Sorry you have to work so much, bud. Mandatory even.
I normally go behind them ships. I should have went behind those ships. I'm just kind of following the guy in front of me right now, but I went behind you to be able to see the spillway a little better, but I'll show you in a second. You can still see it decent. This boat's pretty high in the air.
So when it spills, it fills a big, huge field or something?
Yep, it's just big old spillway. It's a bunch of land, and every time they do it, the people that own the land, like they'll sell the land really, really cheap. People put cattle and whatnot there, so they give you a notice. They'll let you know when it's going to happen so you can move your stuff. and people complain all the time. But they knew when they bought it that that's what that area was. That's why they got the price they got, you know. Spillway is also huge for crawfish. That's where they get lots of crawfish from, the spillways, different spillway areas. There's several different ones.
Matt, Gear has a question. He says, do you have an alarm on movement on the bridge? Does it go off if there's no movement on the person being touched by the boat?
Like me driving it?
Yeah, I think it's like, you know, on,
Yes.
on trains, you
This
have to
right
have
here?
something. You got to have your hands or moving or something.
Yeah, this right here is a motion sensor, and anytime if I'm not moving for I think 5 minutes, alarm starts off on here. I have to move my arm. If I don't move my arm, then alarm's gonna go off on the whole boat. It's called a wheelman incapacitation alarm.
Gotcha.
There you go. Couldn't say that.
And a mom in Canada TV. Welcome to the stream. Hello.
That's all the spillway back there. That's the Bonnet carrier for.
So is that a bridge that's going across there, or is that the dam?
I think that's poured up the dam itself.
Okay.
Glad they're redoing it. It used to not be that close. Glad they're redoing it. I didn't even notice that. I'm gonna plug my phone back up. I forgot I wasn't charging it. I'm gonna end up dying out here.
So you'll be back on watch at midnight.
Yep. Back at midnight, dark, but it's a big river. Rivers. A lot of people kind of freak out. A lot of guys that work in the canal, they don't want to work in the river, especially above Baton Rouge, which is why they put me on here. And a lot of it's because these guys just never been up here, so they don't really care to learn. But to me, it's way more space. The wind doesn't bother you. You gotta deal with the current a little bit, but it's easier if you ask me. And you get paid more to do it. They're gonna pay me more for being here because people don't want to do it. So sign me up.
So why do they not want to do it?
It's a big river. It's a lot to learn. So guys don't really know where you can run, how to run it. So I worked on here as a deckhand and trained on the river up north, so I was a little more used to it. Them guys worked more in the canal, so they see those places more often. They get used to them. Plus, if you sink in the canal, you're only going to sink down to like your second deck, and you're fine. And it's a lot more dangerous in the river. Current can catch you. If I don't, especially once a river comes up, with these loads the way they are, say 9-10 foot draft, this boat's a little more powerful, so it's not as bad. But some of the 2,000 horsepower boats, you come around one of these bends and you're not ready for it, and the current hits the side of your barge, it can flip you around, top you around, send you back south, you know. Mostly, to me, I think it's mostly guys that they're just not comfortable.
Well,
Because they never really gave it a chance.
Don't they have push tugs out there for you on some of those corners to help you around them?
No. Now, ships will get tugs, and ships only go up and down by themselves, river. Anytime they come out and flip out and dock, they have harbor tugs that come alongside them. Now, if when I go into locks, like if I'm leaving the Mississippi River, you can get assist boats that'll come and help you. Because once you turn sideways in the river trying to get into the locks, it's going into a canal. The river's pushing you down. You know, the higher it comes up, the more the current runs, the more it's going to set you down, and it gets kind of dangerous, especially if they don't have a long area in the canal before the locks start. You only have so much area to judge your approach on it and get in between them cement walls, you know. So they'll have some boats sitting there to kind of lean up against you and hold you up a little, but that's about it.
Do you have any locks that you'll be going through on this trip?
Oh, they're going to be going through lots of locks once they get out of the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River doesn't have any locks in it whatsoever, and you get into the upper Mississippi River. St. Louis is the first lock, and the Ohio River. Once you get on the Ohio River, there's like 10 or 15 of them going up that I've been on, about 15 of them. It goes all the way up to Pittsburgh, I believe. I've never been all the way up to the top of the Ohio River. But once they get into the Tom Bigby, that's a man-made canal that's completely regulated by dams. So that's how they keep water in it. So some of those, I mean, once you clear one dam, you'll see the next one. There's lots of locks on the Tom Bigby.
How long have you been doing this job?
20 years now. Been in the wheelhouse since '07.
And were you on these ships before you were in the wheelhouse?
Yeah, I was deckhand. I started deckhand in 2001. I started deckhand. Then got my tankerman's license, which you load the barge. So deckhand pretty much just helps build the tow and clean the boat, clean the barges. You know, putting the wires between the boat and the barges, putting the wires in between the coupling out there, painting the boat, chipping, painting, cleaning the inside, sweeping, mop every day, clean all the toilets, cook and wash dishes. So that's pretty much what a deckhand does. And a tankerman is the next step up. They do pretty much the same exact thing, all the same things as a deckhand, except for they also tank the barges and they get paid like double what a deckhand makes. So tanking the barges, you can make like $350 a day, $315 a day to top tankermen make about that. And they're the ones that actually go out, connect the hoses, and load the barges with whatever product they got. You got to be licensed to do that.
So
and then
you worked 6 years as a deckhand, and then how long did it take you to get your license, or were you doing that while you were being a deckhand?
yeah, pretty much you start out here as a deckhand, and they start from the moment you start, you're pretty much training to be a tankerman. You know, to move up to that next spot to start loading the barges. And then once you get to that point, you know, your next step up is going to be the wheelhouse. So you can slowly raise your pay the longer you're a tankerman. It's about $100 swing from starting tankerman to top wash tankerman. And then once you're a tankerman, when I started out here, they was telling us, you know, you give us 5 years on a deck and we'll put you in the wheelhouse. But then they changed all the regulations to where you had to become an apprentice. You couldn't just get a license and start driving after you were trained, you know, just by whatever captain you was working with. You have to train with a guy who's approved to train people that takes a class now to actually train new wheelmen. And it's usually about at least a year, I would say at least 18 months to 2 years minimum of training. Driving the boat before you can be cut loose as a pilot. A wheelman to start off just running backwatch, which this is backwatch that I'm on now. You can't run front watch until you have like a year and a half, about 2 years of driving. Once you get your license, your pilot's license, you can upgrade to a master's license. Then you could be relief captain or captain and run front watch.
And so, if somebody was certifiable, they could pass any test, and you can't just become a pilot because you're certifiable. You have to put in your hours.
Yes, if you're out here, but now they started doing to where they actually teach this course in some of the colleges down south. So there's some companies hiring people straight out of college that they get a lot of their sick time on simulators. So they actually drive in like a computer, pretty much. Everything looks the same. All the windows are screens, TV screens, and all the places look very similar. I mean, it looks exactly like what it looks out here. And you have to get all your hours of driving, you know, on those simulators. Then you come out here and you still have to train a little bit. I mean, before you get cut loose, have a little time out here. But a lot of the women are actually going that route.
How much longer do you think you'll be doing this, Matt?
It's not a hard job, so I don't know. I'll probably do this for the rest of my life in some fashion. No more than 14 and 14 for the rest of my life, but even after my kids are grown, I mean, I'd come out here and just pull 7 days a month and clear $3,000, $3,500 a month just by pulling a week, So it wouldn't be so bad just to have something still,
Yeah.
All the kids grown, still pulling in, decent amount. And if you don't work at a certain company, you could actually trip and drive boats to different companies, and they pay you more because you don't have insurance and all with them, all that stuff. So to trip right now, you could make $750 a day, $750 a day out here. Just whenever a company needs a pilot for you to go out there and drive the boat for them.
Do you think that I know that you have a big family, and it's part of being established and staying on with the same company. Do you think that later on down the road you might do that move around thing once the kids are out and you don't so much need the stability?
Yeah, I actually thought about that. Once my youngest Jordan needs once he's 18, 19, and he doesn't need insurance anymore, definitely different things I could do. I even thought about, at one point, depending on what's going on, I mean, I could get off and kind of maybe stay a couple days wherever I'm at in the future once the kids are all grown. I mean, it all depends. Right now, I have another crop of little ones at the house from the girlfriend's kids, so they'll be having their little things going on also. So I don't really know. Lots of things could change the future for sure.
Hey, Bigfoot. Hey, Yvonne.
I just always thought it would be. I always thought it would be pretty neat just to get off for crew change, and then wherever you get off at, start just getting a hotel room there. You could kind of visit that area for a couple days, then fly home.
Yeah, that would be neat. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd love to travel, but for now, I mean, I go places, but I only see it from the water. I don't really know anything about a lot of the towns I go through.
Right.
Get off somewhere, have the girlfriend meet me there, especially during summertime or whatever. I think that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and maybe this summer, this spring, when I'm heading your direction, maybe you can jump on board with us and, take the trip over to the East Coast for the 4 or 5 days and then fly back home.
That would be awesome. That would definitely be awesome. No doubt about it.
So you got the invite on that, but we're working out our time frame right now, and I don't know. I sure would like to squeak in a NASCAR race. Perplex, thanks for coming in. A NASCAR race on this trip. So I don't know. We haven't quite nailed everything down, but you'll have plenty of time to schedule. And, maybe we'll just show up with you, hang out a couple days, and then do a 4-day trip to the East Coast and visit up with a couple people. And then, you can fly out and we'll turn and burn back home.
Yeah, that would definitely be awesome for sure. For sure, especially I need to know a little bit before time, make sure my boat's all rolling, working well. We go catch some redfish, fry up some fish, get some crawfish, crabs. Got to do the whole food and fishing part.
Right. Papa, what's going on, bud? Thanks for coming in. Jeep, you be safe.
Asher says hi, Uncle Flip, and hi, Aunt Flip.
Hey, Asher, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Asher, did you get your package? Did you get your goodies? John Francis, what's going on?
Matt, have you come up to St. James yet? Are you that far up?
St. James is going to be ahead of me, right below, a little bit below Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Not there yet. I won't be. I'm
Yeah,
not that far away
I
from
was
St.
looking at
James,
the
though.
map of the river here, seeing so that's where that big right-hand turn is.
Right here, you should probably, if you look at the map, you should be able to see the bottom carrier spillway right next to the river, and that's I'm just above that, and the next bend is actually called 35 Mile Point that I'm coming up on right now. The next bridge above me is going to be the Gramercy Bridge, and then right above Gramercy, we're going to be getting to St. James. So it's not
Yep.
far. It's not far above
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I just found Gramercy Bridge. Yeah, there's some type of fields there, brown field. But yeah, I'm with you now.
Yeah, right below Gramercy Bridge, you're going to come down a couple of bends. They're going to have Marathon Garyville. One of my buddies works as a chemist there. So yeah, right now you are about 15 miles ahead of me if you're by the Gramercy Bridge.
Gotcha. Okay, I found the spillway now. Spillway. So I got you.
Yep, I'm right. I'm coming around the point right above that.
Yeah, I mean, right there you are. I've got you. You're on Google Earth. I got you right here. There's your boat.
Really, Ashes?
Yeah, let me share my screen. I'll show you. It's not really him, but it looks like him.
Yeah, no doubt. They do have boats that you see in the canal and the river. This is some still shots.
So you want me to bring you up,
Yeah,
Ashes?
just for a second. Yeah, I want you to bring where I just shared.
Hold on a minute.
The little Ashes C2 thing there at the bottom. The one that's grayed out. No, the other one. That's in the bottom. Yeah, right there. So if you look right here, here's a spillway. That's a spillway right there. And right here around the turn, right here under the Mississippi, that's Matt right there. See him right there? He said he was just going around the turn, so it's got to be him.
Yep. Roger. That's where I'm at.
That's crazy.
And what was that app, Ashes?
Oh, this is just Google. This is just Google Earth, Google Maps. I mean, that's not really Matt. That's just when they took the picture, the satellite picture. There's happened to be a barge going that way, and that's about where he is right now.
There is an app out there or something that my nephew uses because he's a longshoreman, and he can see the amount of ships sitting outside of the loading area, and I think it's called Ship Finder.
Ship Finder? Yeah. Ship Finder is one of them. The thing is, it's not that accurate. We have AIS systems on here, which some of them are more accurate than other apps. So pretty much anytime you search a boat's name, if you know the boat's name, or you just go to a certain place, it's going to show you our AIS system. We have to update it, or where we're going, where our next port is. That way, ever since 9/11, things have changed a lot. And yeah, we pretty much got to put all that information in. What size tow we got, how many people's on board, what's our draft, and we punch all the numbers into the AIS system, and it's pretty much like a GPS tracker.
Huh.
Share me.
And you can't go through certain areas without it.
Share me one more time. The clip.
Okay. It's new.
The one at the bottom, yeah. The one at the bottom.
Give me a second. Add the stream. There you go.
So this is Vessel Finder. It's another one, but you can see the number of ships on the Mississippi.
And if you go down, you can actually click on the boat. It'll show you. You could find the trip when I went. It records the trip, so you can see how fast I was going, where I went. It'll actually take you along for the ride if you hit play.
Can you say the name of your boat?
I'd rather not.
That's good. Yeah, get that.
I've said it already before.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Uh,
I didn't get that. Sorry.
It's the LAT, L-A-T. I've said it already, so it doesn't matter. LAT, L-A-T,
Huh.
Gonzoulin, Gonsoulin.
So you're saying that might be a security issue. What would be the security problem?
Yep, that's the boat I'm on.
Yep, that's it. That's pretty.
Well, what happens, what they worry about is somebody, they started this, they was worried about somebody hijacking one of these at one point or running into a ship or whatnot. Because depending on what cargo you have on your boat, you know what I mean? Especially if it's like pressure barges or whatnot with butane barges. I mean, empty barges are a lot more dangerous than loaded barges. Everybody, I'm sure, knows that. You know, the ones you get an empty gasoline barge, and that's full of just fumes. You know.
Yeah, the fumes are more dangerous than the liquid anyway. So.
Yeah. So when you got a barge full of fumes, that's what makes the big booms. But for us driving, they pretty much they want you paying attention to what you're doing at all times. So being on the phone, you know, not paying attention to the radio. That's why I always make sure I have the radio up so I can hear anybody that's calling. Somebody comes down and smokes us, then you got nothing but oil in your water because it's gonna. I mean, even though they don't allow single skin barges anymore. These all double hull barges. It's only about 4 foot, and if somebody hits us, if we hit somebody in this river coming down south, coming southbound, a lot of times they're making over 10 miles an hour, so it's a lot of weight. So pretty much they just want you paying attention. That's the whole thing. But we're allowed to listen to a regular radio as long as it's not messing with your job.
Does the spillway? I guess from what I look here on the vessel finder, it looks like it goes over into Lake Pontchartrain.
Yes, Roger.
Yeah. I was telling them earlier when you stepped away for a second. I've been on a sailboat over there and caught some shrimp in Lake Pontchartrain when I was a kid.
Well, that's where the boat just came from on the other side. They went through the locks and industrial canal goes straight to Lake Pontchartrain. They hit the locks over there and came through into the river.
Let me get us back over there.
Yeah.
That was neat. I should bring that up.
There's a few of those apps I have on my phone. If you search any app with an AIS system or AIS tracker, that's what you gotta look for. AIS tracker. That's the system that we all use out here.
So we could follow you all for the next 9 days. We can follow you on that tracker.
Yes, depends. Like I said, some of the apps are a couple days off. It might show you that I was there a day before. You know, some of them are more accurate, more reliable. And you could also if you click on the boat, underneath it, it'll show you my past trips. Especially if you go online and look up that app or that on the actual website. There's more information there. Some of the apps will do it also. You click on the boat and then you go underneath the boat and it's going to show you different trips that we've made on certain dates. And you can actually hit the play button. It'll load up and it'll show just a little like an arrow as a boat, and it'll show the trip the route that I took. A lot of customers use that to see where the boats are at. You know, make sure you're not messing around. Companies will do it. The last company I worked for, in the office, they had a big system that kept track of all the boats. So they had a big screen, and when you go in there, you could see where every boat they had was at, if it was moving. Some companies that I'm not sure what contract this is, but my boat's a Valero contract, so different companies may put trackers on the barge to where and they put one on your boat to where if your boat takes away from the barges, once you get to a certain distance from the barges, an alarm goes off and lets them know that that boat's no longer with those barges that you're paying for. You know, that way if you get standby somewhere, the company doesn't try to double dip and catch another job, pushing something else right quick in a day or two. If you have to wait 4 or 5 days on the dock when you get there,
They don't like that.
no. Sometimes they'll allow it. It all depends, They'll make deals, but yeah, they definitely don't like it if something happens. You never can really tell with these docks. We get to a dock and I call and let them know, hey, I usually got to give them like a 4-hour notice. And they might tell me, well, look, it's going to be 3 days. Go to the fleet. I'll tie off in the fleet, and 30 minutes later they'll call back up and they'll be like, oh, we're going to bring y'all in right now. So I've had it happen before where we go to Houston and the company's like, hey, look, we're going to go take these barges from the fleet and go bring them here to get them loaded. And you're not finished that job, and the other job calls and say, hey, we're ready for you to come in. Now you're in a situation,
Yeah. So you're working for Valero, but Valero has you contracted for the next 10 days.
Well, not on this boat. This boat's on it, but that's my regular boat. We work for Valero, and they do like year-long contract.
Oh, I see.
And then you'll just get a different job core every time you complete one transfer, one load, then discharge. Then you'll get another job cord for the next load you're going to load up, where you're going to pick it up at, where you're going to drop it off at.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at some of the other ships, or the other boats, the towboats that y'all have in the fleet for who you're working with now. They've got one called the Miss Andrea. That thing,
Yeah.
It's wide and long. It's 3,600 horsepower. It looks a lot different than what yours does.
Yep.
They got a lot
Yeah,
of
one of the apps I have, you can actually save boats. So on the last company I was working at, I had one of those apps, and I had every boat from our company saved to where I can see where all of our boats are, which comes in handy if it's an accurate one and it's up to date. If you're trying to catch a boat one day, you can see exactly where that boat's located at. I tell you what, back in the day when I first started up here working in the river, it was crazy doing crew changes because cell phone service was spotty at best. It's still going up the river, you have terrible cell phone service in lots of places. But when I first started out here, it was really bad. So the river pretty much looks very similar the whole way up. You get around where you need to get at, head to the river, and you have to find this boat launch. And once you get close to the river, you no longer have cell phone service, so you can't talk to the boat. You get to the river wherever it's at, and you look up and down and try to find landmarks to figure out where you at along the river. We used to use the MapQuest paper maps to get where we was going, but the boats get held up sometimes. They change the spot where you're going to be crew changing at, So yeah, you used to have to get back in the truck, drive maybe 30 minutes back to a town to get cell phone service again, try to call the boat back up. It used to be hectic. Now you can just drop a pin. Pretty much works anywhere. It's great.
Huh. Well, yeah, communication is so cool, and then also so not so cool because you're accountable for everything anymore.
Yeah.
Like when I'm working in the field, they put the GPSs on the vans, and when you're going from call to call, if you want to stop to get a soda, you get in trouble for it.
Yeah. Our crew trucks. Anytime you start and stop our crew trucks, it sends an email. Anytime you go, I think once you hit 80 miles an hour, it sends an email also.
Oh.
And in Texas, it's 70. The interstate's like 75 in a lot of spots. So once you get over there and you're trying, I don't stay on the side of 18-wheelers very often. I try to get over behind pretty quickly. So I might be doing 77, 78 miles an hour. Speed up a little bit to get around an 18-wheeler. And before long, getting a call from the office telling you to slow down.
Yeah, it says I'm doing your pack right now.
This guy's got 12 barges right here. Just think, that dude right there on the side of me has got 12. And I mean, I'm gonna meet guys this trip going up that has 40, 45, 46 barges. 48 barges.
So the guy to the right of you has 12 barges.
Yep.
So 4 wide, 3 deep.
Yeah. But but those, like I said earlier, he has a 200 by 35 foot wide barges, not the size I have. I have 300 by 54 foot wide barges.
You're 54 wide.
Yep, 54 wide. Yeah, because they'll make these. They're actually 297 and a half foot long and 54 foot wide, because in the canal regulations change once you get to 300 foot long barge and 55 foot wide. I think it actually might be. Yeah. Anything above that, you have to call the Coast Guard and get permission to travel, which they kind of slacked off with it now. When I would go doubled up in the canal past Lake Charles, you could double up your barges. All the bridges are wide enough for you to fit 108 foot wide through, and you have to call the Coast Guard, and they give you a permit number for you to make that trip. Now, once you call and get that permit, you are to give way vessel at all times. So anytime you're going to meet somebody, if they tell you they want you to stop, you have to stop.
And these ones on the left, they're parked.
Yeah, that's a fleet.
Seems
That
like
is
a
LaFlosse
like a
fleet.
parking lot on every corner.
Yeah, pretty much. And these line boats, that's pretty much all they do is they go up and down. See, this guy probably had a lot more barges a couple days ago, but as he's coming down, he's dropping off barges the whole way down. He might pick 1 or 2 up, but he's dropping barges the whole way down, and he's almost at the bottom of the river. So once he gets down here, he's going to flip back around, start heading back north. I mean, he may have picked up some barges a little north of here that have to go further north, but he's got to finish coming south, drop the other barges he needs to drop off south first. Then he's going to turn around and slowly go up, and he'll get orders to stop at all these little fleets right here and pick up barges. They all usually start with 1 or 2 down here, and they'll end up with 30, 40 before they get where they're going, and then dropping some off left and right.
But they're doing like grain and gravel and stuff like that, right? Not petro.
Correct. Most of all those barges with those covers, that's cover top barges. Yeah, it's gonna be corn, salt, coal, different things like that. There is some barges that size that do fuel, liquid product, but none of the ones that are right there, or anyone with them tops like that, or that's dry product. Might be rock barges. Sometimes they put a lot of scrap barges. You'll be full of old scrap, iron, cars, rows of different iron. All those are loaded. They're all loaded with a 10-foot draft. If they was empty, they'd be all sticking out of the water about 10 foot. Like the ones on you can't really see that far, I'm sure. But this is the loaded fleet. They have less current right here. It's the bottom end of the bend. So they put their loads down here. The current gets a little bit more above at the point, and that's when they're going to switch to their empty fleet, because it has less draft and doesn't mess with the current doesn't mess with them as much. But I'm not sure how long I'm even going to be on here. The guy that was on here one of the guys had to get off. He had a pipe messed up at his house. So, pipe got messed up at his house. He's going to get that fixed. He might come back. He might wait till the next crew change. So, I know I got to be back on my regular boat next Thursday. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably take me off before then, unless somebody that's on my regular boat wants to ride over, and they might just use me somewhere else. I felt kind of guilty taking Christmas off, so figured I'd come do pretty much whatever they needed me to do for the next 2 weeks while I was supposed to be on.
There's nothing wrong with taking Christmas off.
No, but when I take Christmas off, that like especially on my boat, there's somebody scheduled off for Christmas. So with me not coming back, they have to put somebody in that place. So if they have nobody, the first thing they're gonna do is ask the guy that's regularly on my boat to stay over. And the way this works, on a regular 14 and 7 schedule, you have one Christmas off every 3 years. So if you miss your one Christmas off, it's going to be 6-7 years before you have your Christmas off again. So nothing's really wrong with wanting to have Christmas off, but when it's your turn to have Christmas off, the last thing you want to do is get a call a few days before Christmas and them ask you or tell you need to stay because they don't have nobody to take the spot, you know? Especially right now because they're so short-handed. These next barges coming up are empty. You can see they're way out of the water.
Travis dropping lines here, Magnolia, 122. Dropping out, heading southbound, 157. Still passes out here, just short.
What I would like to do maybe eventually is some of these fleets that work right here up the river, they work 12 out on and 12 off in a 14 and 7 schedule. So they don't actually sleep on the boat. They'll get there, 6 in the morning, work till 6 in the evening their first week, or maybe they'll work 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning their first week. Then their second week they'll work the opposite, 6 in the morning, whatever the opposite schedule is, and that third week they take off. So they actually only working still 12-hour shifts each day and then going home. The issue with that was, well, I never tried to do it before, is because I live still a ways away from the river. It takes me about an hour and a half to get to the river from my house. So it would be a lot of driving. By the time I get home, I'd have to go to sleep to where I could, it'd be pretty much pointless unless I would move closer to the river. If you live 15, 20 minutes from the river, it's not bad at all. Still make the good money for being out here and home all the time, home every day.
We're just working out.
He's got quite a few barges right there. Like he's what, 6 across? Yeah, he's 6 across. Well, he's same thing as the last guy though. He's only got 12. He's only got 2 rows. 6 across, 6 plus 6. He's probably going to be picking up a lot of barges. So he set his toe up that way keep adding on to the front row. Normally the biggest ones I see are usually 6 across and 7 long. 42 barges is normally the bigger ones.
I got an email. I got a package coming to me from Colorado. All right.
Well, color me impressed.
Well, it's coming from old Big Flip. That's why it's a good thing.
Roger.
What I miss?
I said I got
Oh,
a
we're just
package.
talking about your package. That's it.
Oh,
Just talking about some Bigfoot's package. That's it. The best ones to get in the mail.
yeah, I got one here. I don't know where it's going.
Hey, Sir Benji, how you doing?
I got a bunch of stuff the other day. They had an auction, and they was doing one of those drop auctions, and I got a little excited. I had to like a gold coin drop, a bunch of ounces of silver and stuff.
in the community, Matt?
Yeah, Roger. It was on one of them community auction things they have. Big T and Mama T
Big T and Mama T's.
community thing.
Yeah, I popped in there right after you were in there, and I said hello, and you must have just bugged out.
I was losing service. Like when I was trying to pay, I might have been that time. I was in a really bad area. When you go up to the Chapalaya River, there's no service whatsoever for a good 4 or 5 hours. You get one bar at best. So I was trying to pay for what I had got, and I could not log on to PayPal, and then it kicked me off of YouTube. Yeah, it was a mess. Then after I got it, the one little thing I was trying to do paid for, the service completely dropped out for the rest of the time I was on watch. The good thing is most of the spots on the river these days you have some service. There's only 1 or 2 spots for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes I'll lose service really bad. But Chapalaya River's in the middle of nowhere, so it actually meets up with the Mississippi River up here, Old River Locks. My map's all messed up. What's going on here? Oh, no, but there we go. All fancy now. It's weird. In some spots, they have the map completely disappears on my computer. Where two charts overlap, they pretty much just it's the Rose Point system we use. They took the old maps, the paper maps, and they pretty much charted put one map next to the next map, making a digital chart. And on certain spots, one page will kind of overlap the next page, and it'll block off the map. So it looks like you're running over land.
That's quite the process you got there, Big Flip.
Yeah. It's yeah, I'm getting pretty quick at it though.
Yeah, I like how your label is just the right size to fit on your envelopes.
Yeah, I was that was planned. So right now I'm doing the envelopes, which are the giveaways. And for the last 2 weeks worth of giveaways, I only have 4 envelopes to do. And everybody else that won was either a donator, auction buyer, or something like that. So it's pretty neat.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Silver Keys, what was the name of that double coin, that Fafnir or something like that? What was that called? Remember? It was on the auction.
Fafnir.
Fafnir. Yeah, they sold that thing over at Everyday Opportunity, that double silver coin in a box, Big Flip, that we had on the early bird. And they did
I thought I heard Pat.
a drop
What are
auction.
you talking about?
Called Silver Keys.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Ashes.
Was that called a drop auction? Is that what they called that?
Yeah, that was Minx. I think Minx did that in a drop auction.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can expect a lot of that on trade day from he and someone else did it one as well. Silver Bowl.
Keys, do you know NC Prospector's name?
Let me look.
Can you text it to me, send it to me, or something?
Let
I'm
me
having a
look.
hard time finding out. I know Flipside Building, but I don't know what the name is.
How's Silver Wishes? Sorry, I didn't say hello earlier. Just saw you.
Let's look. I don't have them there.
I think it's SL are the initials. Let me see something here.
SLL.
Yeah, it's SL.
I'm looking. I have 2 places that I might have it. So I'm looking on my other place now. I'm looking. I have 2 places that I might have it. I'm looking on my other place now. Let's see.
Probably got about another 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes or so. And the old captain will be coming up. Just giving you a heads up.
Matt, I appreciate the ride. Thank you very much.
No problem. Kind of fun. I enjoyed it.
It made your time go faster too, just having somebody to chat with.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. It's boring up here by yourself most of the time. Especially at night. Midnight to 6 in the morning. Can't see nothing. It's just black out there, just staring at a radar screen all night. Especially this time of year too, because it shuts out fog on you before you know what's going on. You can't see 40 feet in front of you.
So you have autopilot to help steer, GPS coordinates that kind of take you up the river?
No.
So it's,
No, we don't have any, like,
it's all
autopilot
you
on
doing
here.
the driving there.
Yeah. The offshore boats, I've seen offshore boats with the autopilot, the guys that go out to the rigs and get the crude oil. But yeah, we do have different options of steering. I have joysticks I can use. It's a backup steering instead of what I'm using here, which is these sticks right here. You can go side to side. Rudder indicator there. And you turn the stick. Shows the rudder moving side to side. So I have that. My flanking rudder's here, and then if I need to, if something happens with my follow up, this is called follow up steering. If I can go at non follow up, which is this joystick. I have to switch my my steering system down here to non follow up. Like I'm on one pump, which has 2 different steering pumps just in case one croaks on you. You can switch it over to the other steering pump. And then you could also switch it to these joysticks if you got to, which it's not quite as easy. You always got to pay attention to your rudder indicator where that's pointing at if you go that route. Right now with the sticks, wherever I pretty much have the stick facing is going to be where the rudder's pretty close to where the rudder's at. My fancy little computer with my chart on it here. I got a double screen. I got one kind of zoomed in. My fancy little computer with my chart on here. I got a double screen. I got one kind of zoomed in.
Oops.
I do not have that address in any of my files.
Thank you.
Hi, Christina M.
Christina M.
Do not have that address in any of my files.
Okay. So, Keys, did you get anything back on your submissions yet?
No, I had the baby today. Mom just came a little bit ago and picked her up, so she didn't have to go on the ambulance run. So I'm just now sitting down having a little cup of tea, and so I didn't get a call. I checked early this morning, but I haven't called them. I don't know. Let me check and see if status has changed at all. It is still in quality assurance.
Yeah, it might have been there that long too. I think yours have been there longer though.
I think today is day 38 that they've had them.
You still have time to call them.
Bye, Matt.
They aren't closed already?
No, no, they're West Coast. West Coast till 5.
Oh, what? I was thinking East Coast.
No, PCGS is West Coast. East Coast is NGC. Mountain Time is ANEX.
Yeah, and I knew that because I mailed to them, but well, okay, I'm gonna mute and call right now. See how long it takes me to get through.
Shouldn't take very long. They're kind of caught up on their calls.
I mailed my packages off today too.
What's that?
I mailed my packages off today too.
Yeah,
I had that many to mail. 2. One to Katie Graham for winning the giveaway, and then I sold a coin to Joel. And I'll put one to Joel.
all right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get to the post office. I got like 30 minutes.
All right, man. Well, have a good evening. Thanks for having
Thank
me
you
up.
all for coming in. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed the ride.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
See you later.